The story of the Arabian Oryx is quite a remarkable one, and testament to the investment in conservation that Oman has made over the decades, really, and that's been the focus of day 16 of the Jewel of Arabia expedition. So, as normal, and is becoming the norm really now, we woke up about 6 o'clock, and I think the stove was on by 6:30. Beautiful sunrise, sound of little owls and barking foxes through the night, and a lovely fox on the camera trap when we retrieved that from the little bush where we hid it in the night with our tin of tuna as bait. But then we loaded the vehicles and headed inland west to a very special place called the Jiddat al-Harasis, the land of the al-Harsoosi tribe, because the Jiddat al-Harasis, in a particular place called Yaluni, was identified several decades ago as the place where the Arabian Oryx would be reintroduced after it really came close to the brink of extinction here in Oman. And the Al-Wusta Arabian Oryx Reserve was our focus today, and I really want to thank Sultan al-Balushi, the Environmental Authority in Muscat, for his help in orchestrating today, because it's been a really inspiring day. I just love spending time with people for whom money is not their prime motivator, and that was clearly evident today. And you know, I don't think it's any different in Scotland, where I live, to be honest. You know, the salaries are not great in the world of conservation, but people really have a passion for their work, and that was really evident today. People who love what they do, believe in what they do, and that really comes across very, very clearly with the ranger team at Yaluni. So when Bertram Thomas did his journey that we are retracing and following and using as a handrail to guide us through Oman, in 1927-28, the Arabian Oryx was relatively widespread. I can't find in Thomas's diary any reference to the fact that his men hunted and caught oryx, but they certainly caught gazelle, and they caught hare and rabbit, and used those catches to supplement their usual ration of dates and dried fish. But the oryx were around, there's no doubt about it. But in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, the numbers declined quite dramatically. The arrival of the internal combustion engine, the motor car, Wilfrid Thesiger called it an abomination. For him, it was the end of the life of the people whom he loved, the Bedouin people. He was very negative about the car. He felt that the Bedouins' lives would be transformed forever and destroyed, and without doubt their lives have changed. But you know, what the motor car did was that it gave people who wanted to hunt a great advantage over the animals that they chose to hunt. So numbers declined rapidly. A series of dry years with no vegetation saw the numbers dwindle to the point of extinction. And in the 1960s, the plight of the oryx was brought to the sort of world's attention, really, because they really were on the brink of extinction, certainly here in Oman. And a small number of those that remained were flown to USA. A breeding program was set up that was successful, and in the 1980s, a small number of oryx were returned to Oman, and Yaluni, where we visited today, was identified as the place to reintroduce these beautiful animals, in the hope that their population would once again start to thrive and become sustainable. And today, thanks to the amazing people we met, their numbers are up to 725, and there are key people who played their role in the past, sort of conservation luminaries of the Middle East and Oman in particular. People like Mark Stanley Price, people like Ralph Daly, and more latterly people like Andrew Spalton played key roles in the conservation and the efforts behind this wonderful species. But today it's a new generation. It's people like Sultan al-Balushi from the Environmental Authority in Muscat, who was very kind in orchestrating today. The incredible head ranger Said bin Nasser al-Harsoosi and his team. Very, very, you can see the passion and the pride in their eyes. Wonderfully warm, committed people. And so it was a privilege for us to spend a couple of hours in their company today. And the work they're doing at Yaluni, which is an area now of about just short of 3,000 square kilometres, is alive with other species, all sorts of gazelle, mountain gazelle, sand gazelle, reem, and it was really good to hear that a couple of weeks ago the governor of Dhofar, the southern province of Oman, Said Marwan, helped release a couple of hundred gazelle back into the wild at a place called Mukshin. And Bertram Thomas, our explorer, described Mukshin as the Prince of Wadis, because it's an area of great greenery and beautiful gaff trees, this tree that grows in the desert. Remember, there are only two species of tree that do so. One is the gaff and the other's the acacia. So Mukshin's the perfect place to reintroduce such animals. So we hope that under the watchful eye of the rangers and satellite tracking, that these animals will survive and will go on to flourish and repopulate the lands that they once occupied in greater numbers. But as we were there for a couple of hours before we had to move on to our current location, which is camping down here on the coast once again, I was able to sit with Said bin Nasser, and through Dikra, who kindly translated for me, was able to ask him a few questions about his work as a sort of head ranger at the Arabian Oryx Reserve. Dikra, I can see with Said the passion he has for his work. Like all people who work in conservation, I can see it. He really loves what he does. So could you ask Said, first of all, how long, so what he does, what's his role, and how long has he been doing his job?
السلام عليكم. وظيفتي هي أشتغل من سنة 1998.
So he's saying that he's supervising the area around here, and he's seeing or following if any, let's say, vehicle sign or wheels that it shows in the area. So he'll start tracking those people and tracking the hunters or anyone is step inside here without the authority of going inside this area to protect the place here and the oryx and the animals which are here. So he will just stay here, and he will be like having shifts, morning and night duty, to make sure that everything is safe and in its place. Yeah.
Brilliant. And I think I can sense that Said lives and loves his job. I sense it. You can see it in his eyes. He's born to do this, and he absolutely loves it. And but the Arabian Oryx was plentiful here in Oman in 1927 when Bertram Thomas did his journey. But then the numbers, I think, due to hunting, due to several poor winters of rain, the animals nearly died out. They went to America. Some were taken to America to start a small breeding program. They came back and they were reintroduced here. This was the area that was chosen to reintroduce them. Are they thriving, or is Said worried about their future?
والله في حالتنا الحالية اليوم موجودة الحمد لله، مش تتناقض الحين تقريبا في 720.
He's saying that these days that they are the numbers have been increased. They are now around 720 of them, and that's the number what have been counted here in this area, and there are so many more outside this area and this region around Oman, and he say, but absolutely they are fine today. Yeah, no need to worry about them.
Well, I think with people like Saeed and his wonderful team looking after him, I think the Oryx should consider themselves to be very lucky. But I think his father played a key role in the establishment of this area called Yaluni and the Oryx Sanctuary. Can you tell us a little bit about the role that his father played?
والله في ذاك الزمان تقريبا في أول ما بدأ حكم صاحب قاس سلطان قابوس الله يرحمه.
So he's saying that at the beginning, His Majesty, who has passed away, Sultan Qaboos, he give the responsibility of 10 of the head people who are, let's say, like a sheikh of the area. So he gave them the responsibility of starting to protect the oryx, the Arabian oryx here in Oman. So he just told them that you can choose the best place or area or environment that you could see that it's suit to those animals to be survived. So they started with 6 oryx, and that's what was their beginning, to protect those 6 oryx, the Arabian oryx here in Oman. And then they got a very huge support from His Majesty by take caring of the place and giving them the medication that they need and all the supports that they need by increasing the employees and preparing the best place that they could go and come in, cabins and the place that those oryx can live in a best way, plus the employees that they could be here for 24 hours. So day by day until it became belong to al-Diwan, and then they got an extra focus on it by giving them more support, whatever those animals needed, and then the numbers start increasing. And then another challenge that they got by hunters, and then they could protect them by their law were decided by the government that it's not allowed to hunt them, and then by the collaborating with the police and another and all of those supports from the government, police and the employees and the sheikh who were holding this area. So that was a very supportive thing that make the place as what it is today, and make their work even easier. So day by day this place go to their kids, and taught them about how to protect these animals, and then till today the oryx are fine based on this story.
Well, a great story of biodiversity and sustainability, which is what the Jewel of Arabia is all about. And last question, you did very well to remember all that, Dikra, by the way. Last question is, I can see in Saeed's eyes that he loves what he does. What would he say is the best part of his job? And what's so special about this place called Yaluni?
والله أفضل شيء في عملي الحمد لله إني على قيد الحياة وإني بخير وإني عندي موجود عند المها.
So he say the best part is being with the oryx. That's what he say. As long as he's alive, he just want to be with those all of animals, the gazelle, the oryx, all the animals which are here. He's happy by seeing them that they are protected and they are fine. And his aim that Sultan Haytham inshallah will continue the support of His Majesty Qaboos inshallah by protecting this area.
Fantastic, and I'm sure he will, because Yaluni is a very special place and the oryx is a very special animal. So Dikra, thanks very much for doing that translation, and Saeed, shukran jazilan.
نشكركم شكرا جزيلا على هذا اللقاء اللي احنا وياكم اليوم تلاقينا فيه، والاكتشاف الطيب هذا لزيارتكم عندنا في المحمية المهنة العربية، وشكرا جزاكم الله خير.
He say he's very happy for our visit and by exploring those animals here and spread it to the world.
Great. Well, hope this helps a little bit. Thanks very much.